Action. Take it. That was great.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that moment for months. Bienvenidos amigos, this is Fuerteventura, a 640 square mile rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and my beloved home for a good many years. In that time I've known some thoroughly fascinating people and it seems only fair that I share some of them with you. I'm here with a good friend of mine, a regular visitor who's kindly taken time out of his schedule to appear on camera. Why? Well, apart from being a really nice bloke, he has a fascinating and inspiring story to tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Darren Parker.
Hi all.
Thanks for coming along. It's great to see you here, but of course you can't really say the same about me, even if you wanted to. You want to tell the folks why?
Because, let's say, I'm registered as seriously visually impaired.
Let's take this in a positive direction. I mean, it's handy in a way that you are visually impaired because this is the first episode of this little series that I'm trying to do, and I'm still learning how to set it all up and get it all right. So basically, you won't notice if it looks rubbish.
No.
So what's your condition actually called?
Retinitis pigmentosa. It is the deterioration of the retina. So it's very light sensitive as well, as you can imagine. It's better known as RP for short.
Right, okay, so that's what a lot of people refer to it as. And so you just say, I've got RP.
Yeah.
How common is RP?
It's something like 1 in 26,000, I think. Something like that.
Do you actually communicate with anybody else who has RP?
No.
No. It's literally...
I don't have time.
No, you're a busy man. Yeah. Retinitis pigmentosa. It sounds like Harry Potter spell.
It does.
Retinitis
pigmentosa.
So what I find quite powerful about your story is that it's something that's happened to you. You could see to start off with.
Yeah. Went to the opticians, not very happy with me, sent me to hospital. Went to hospital, said there's a problem, sent me to see a specialist in Manchester, which should have been January 2003, I think it was.
How quickly was the deterioration?
It's quite slow, if I'm honest. I've probably been quite bad now for the last 12 months, I'd say.
Now, how do you describe it?
What I can see?
Yeah, what you can see.
The best way I can describe it is if you got a photograph. Say there was 3 people in the photograph.
Mm-hmm.
You look directly at that photograph, and if you could use an eraser and just rub it out, so rub it all out in the middle so it's just all grey.
Right.
And then rub it out a bit round the edges so it's very blurry. So you're basically looking at a bit of light and shadows, and that's pretty much it.
So you can't make out shapes or anything like that?
Not really.
Right.
I really struggle with shapes.
Can you see colour?
No, not really. It's more black and white now.
Emotionally, how did that affect you?
The first day I got diagnosed, I think it was that night, went round to a friend's and drank 5 bottles of red wine.
Don't blame me for doing that. You're holding down a high-profile job. You have a very large family, so tons of responsibility, loads of stuff to do. If you've had to change your life around your RP, did you have that mindset from the moment you got diagnosed, or did you think that's it, it's all over?
No, I don't think I ever did think that. I felt sorry for myself for a while. I did hand me notice in at work because I was really, really struggling. I couldn't do the paperwork. We weren't computerised at the time. I think it was the social worker at the time. I was doing white cane training, and she put me in touch with a firm in Preston called Action for Blind, who were fantastic. They came to see me at work. Right, you need this, you need this, you need this, and then I just got loads of equipment in to help me, and I've never looked back since.
Brilliant. So, I mean, what sort of equipment are we talking about here?
It's a 21-inch screen.
Yeah.
It's got a slider plate underneath, and it's a CCTV camera. Right. So it looks down onto the slider plate, so I can look at the screen right on the slider plate, and it obviously comes up on the screen. Right. So
in a sense, it's like a huge magnifying glass, really.
Yeah.
So I noticed that when you've been here, you've been staying with us. When we've got an average family TV, I suppose. If you want to watch the football, you sit right up against it.
Yeah, with the nose touching the
much to the annoyance of everyone else in the room. Get out of the way! And what you're doing there is, I assume you're kind of using your peripheral vision to pick up. What you can.
The slow-mo, I can kind of get what's gone on there.
You have a cane.
Yeah, it's a pain in the padded arse, but yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, it's horrible. And sighted people would never understand if you're on flagged pavements, which none of them sit straight.
Yeah.
I'm a very quick walker.
Yeah.
So I look like I've gone 10 rounds with Tyson in the stomach, and he's done body blows.
From the stick
From
itself?
the stick, because I'll be on the stick in front, I'll be walking along, it'll snag in a path and it's straight into my stomach.
Ouch.
And it hurts. I remember one particular time I was walking down a local street at home, and I'd had it with this stick, with the cane, and it snagged once too often. It really hurt me, and I picked it up and I swung it round in the air and launched it down the street, and there was a car going past, and he must have thought, psycho blind man.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when I decided I needed a guide dog.
Right, how many have you had?
I'm on my second now.
You're on your second guide dog.
Yeah.
Your first guide dog sadly passed away.
He did.
So let's talk about your first guide dog, Elliot, I believe, yeah?
Yep,
and your experiences with him.
It's just brilliant. Just gives you independence back. It is brilliant.
I didn't realise it's quite an intense period of training for you as the guide dog user, not just the guide dog. Is that subsidised? Is there a charity that funds that?
Well, it's Guide Dogs is a charity. So
right, is that Guide Dogs for the Blind? Is that the name of it?
That's it.
Did you get in contact with them, or did they contact you?
Yeah, initially I got in contact with them for the first time, for the first dog. And it is quite intense. It's not like they just go throwing dogs at anybody you can't see. They come out, do a visit, find a dog to suit your style of walking, find a dog that can suit the home, find a dog that can, suit the family needs. We've got cats, tortoises, dogs, parrots.
It must be a very, very well-behaved dog, or supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Elliot was, what breed was he?
He was a golden lab crossed golden retriever.
Right, okay, so what I would call kind of your typical guide dog.
85% of guide dogs, I think that's what they are.
Yeah. And now Frankie is...
German Shepherd cross golden retriever. We've got a black lab at home.
Oh, that's right, you've got another dog as well. Yeah.
When you get a guide dog, you can pretty much ask for one. I actually wanted a German Shepherd this time. I didn't want one to remind me of Elliot. They said, well, would you consider a black lab? No, I've already got a black lab at home. I don't want another one. I'll be putting the harness on the wrong dog. And strangely enough, because my eyes are quite bad now, I had the guide dog trainer at home, and we were taking Frankie for his first free run, which I'd never done with him before.
Right.
And a free run is basically you take the dog to a park or wherever and let it have a run round, and he's not working.
Yeah.
So I gets the lead, gets the easy leader, puts it on, and the guide dog trainer says to me, are we taking Bella on this free run as well? Which is the black lab at home. Well, no, I don't think it's a great idea, do you? She went, no, just, do you not think you'd better put the easy leader on Frankie?
So you put the lead on the wrong dog.
On the wrong dog, yeah.
How do the dogs get on with each other?
Yeah,
I assume that guide dogs are trained to socialise well with other dogs.
Yeah, they get on great.
The misconception that I think some people get, if you have a disability issue, that the government just throws loads of money at you and you get all this free stuff, and that's clearly not what happens.
No, definitely not.
With what the guide dogs for the blind people are doing, that is vitally important. Do you pay for the food and stuff like that?
No, it all comes through.
Really? So they provide the food and vets bills and all of that? So that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. Somebody was telling me the other day, actually, that somebody over here has got a guide dog.
I don't consider Fuerteventura to be a very blind-friendly place. Actually, to be fair, Caleta Fusti has improved a lot recently. I think they do have the little things like the nodules at the crossings and things like that.
Yeah.
And do you make use of that kind of thing? Or
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And you just seem to find your way around so well, especially you say to me in places that like Fuerteventura is one of the reasons you keep going back to Fuerteventura.
Yeah, to see you.
Of course, yeah, and it's lovely having you here down in Bromance and all that, but it's good because you can go to a place like Caleta Fusti, and obviously you've got a memory of Caleta Fusti from when you could see, so you've kind of almost got the place mapped out in your head.
I can remember steps. I mean, the sports bar in Caleta, I know it's 17 steps up to get to the bar, right. And then the toilets are a pain because they're outside, aren't they, downstairs?
Oh, right.
But then I go down, it's 10 steps down, and then 6 steps down, 2 steps up. And
so you really do it like that? Yeah. You're thinking of how many steps?
Which it can be a nightmare sometimes, and especially a few beers, you're chatting away, and you're halfway down the steps chatting away. You think, was that 5 or 6? And then you're thinking, and you've got to be really careful then, because I have missed the bottom step a few times.
Let's talk about what you do in the UK. because I think that's amazing what you do in the UK. You just want to just describe your job there.
I run a roofing merchant. Funnily enough, I started the job I'm in now, at the building I'm in now, I started in November 2002, and then I got diagnosed with the RP January 2003, and the guy that owns the firm is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, been so supportive, great place to work, and we have lots of banter because it's quite a blokey place. And yes, they do.
Yes, they do play jokes. So give us an example of that.
Well, there was one time...
Relatively clean.
Yes. If you imagine, behind the trade counter we had like silicon stands and stuff, and somebody had hung a high-vis vest up on the corner of the silicon stand, at which point I think I'd been to the loo or something. I was walking back up, so starts having a conversation with the high-vis jacket on the silicon stand, while there's about 6 of them at the other side of the trade counter absolutely laughing their head off.
Can you tell who people are by the way they walk? Can you hear the way they walk?
Spooky you should say that. When I'm sat in the office at work, I can usually tell which member of staff it is by the walk.
Yeah. That's quite interesting, because when I worked for an office company years and years ago, I used to know when the foreman was coming because he wore steel toe caps. So it sounded like a woman walking down the corridor. Yeah. So I knew that was when I had to look busy. Because I could hear the steel toe caps coming down, and then I just stop surfing the internet. Yeah, that's it, all that.
The 2 things that have really sharpened is my hearing and reflexes.
I know. Well, this is the thing. We've seen you save a glass from falling over. And you play pool as well.
Yeah.
That was always amazing. And you still managed to beat people. We went bowling the other day, and you've managed to beat me twice, which either says something about my bowling, or you've got some kind of supernatural ability. You have some vision, but it's very limited. It might as well not be there.
Yeah. Well, pool's quite easy. It's all angles. Pool's a game of angles, and I was very good at pool when I could see.
When I see you play, you generally look, although you're not looking.
No.
But you face the direction that you're shooting the ball. How do you cope with the losing thing?
To be honest, I'm usually I'm the one that finds everything at home. People hear me say it, I probably drive the kids mad, but I always say the powers of feel. And I think everybody will fall guilty of it. And a classic example is Sharon and keys. But you know when people go, "Oh, I've lost my car keys," and they start rummaging in the pockets, and then they're rummaging somewhere else. And quite often I've gone back to Sharon's pocket and I've actually felt around and felt the car key. And you know, it's there, and it's been there all the time. Because people aren't.
I'm like it myself. Well, does it make you more organised as a person?
It probably does make me a bit more organised.
Because you've raised a massive family in spite of everything. So how many? What was the maximum amount of people living in your house at one point?
At one point, 2 families put together basically. I was divorced, so both together, looking after a niece and nephew as well. So at weekends when mine came, the maximum we'd have had would have been 10.
10 in the house.
Yeah.
We're not talking like angelic children either. We're talking messy teenagers, aren't we? Quite a lot.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, or are they not as messy because they know it's gonna?
No, they've always been really good.
Yeah.
You know, as especially for so many of them, they were really good kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've been proud of them all. They've still had to endure what wouldn't be great times in the youngest part of their lives, really. But yeah, we got through it. It's good.
When people see the stick, that instantly puts you in a vulnerable position because people know you're blind then.
I did used to feel a bit vulnerable, to be fair. But yeah, the confidence it gave me doing taekwondo. I always said if somebody decided to attack me, they'd have a bit of a shock.
So you're black belt taekwondo, and you learnt that as you were going blind.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I absolutely loved it, to be fair.
Are you less fearful now than you were?
Probably less fearful now because you can't see what's coming. I mean, I've done go ape. For anybody who doesn't know, you're going through trees at 40 foot, 60 foot, 100 foot, whatever you are.
This is on you're going on zip lines and stuff like that.
Kind of,
Yeah.
And I was probably less fearful of that with my eyes than I would have been if I could see, because I couldn't really see how far you have to fall. So I was fine.
I think of the situations that you're in, and I get like this little tremble of fear. I fear for you You're right, you don't care. What do you particularly like about Fuerteventura?
Everything.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the place.
Would you want to live here?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Right, okay. We don't tell your boss that, though. You still get a level of enjoyment out of coming to Fuerteventura.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at us messing around on those inflatables.
I suppose it's also what it does for Sharon as well.
Yeah, absolutely. With the skin condition and everything, and the pain, the cold and damp doesn't no good at all.
No.
So over here, she's like a different person.
That's really good.
And it's not too... The thing is with this place, it's not too busy, but it's not too quiet.
You're one of these people I class that you don't live here, but you might as well.
Yeah.
Because you come out here so often. So that makes you an interesting islander.
Yeah.
See, from my point of view. And you know lots of people out here as well. And people, oh, Sharon and Darren are coming out. Oh, how are the kids? And that's
lovely.
And that's very much what it's like here. And I really love that community spirit. That sense of community spirit is really important to me. Let's finish on this thing you were talking to me about that you want to do. Which sounds completely nuts. But I understand.
Back to the fearless thing again, isn't it?
Why you want to do it, yeah. So talk us through this.
I'd love to do the world land speed record for an unsighted person on a motorbike.
Nice, safe ambition there, I think, yeah.
I've seen a guy do it. I can't remember the guy's name now. Met him a couple of times. He's a top bloke. And he has done the world land speed record in a car. I think we were doing a driving day, so some silly sod was in a car letting us drive.
I keep thinking of that scene from Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino. I
think he did 209 miles an hour this particular day, and he's broken it again since.
So this is driving in a straight line,
yeah, basically just driving in a straight line, but it's good how it works.
Chicane, sorry.
Yeah, bridge.
Yeah, ramp.
It's good how he does it, because he's in a car on his own, and then there's a support car behind.
Right.
So I'm assuming they've got intercom, and if he's straying off a bit, it's left a bit, right a bit.
Yeah.
So you could do the same. In principle, you could do the same on a bike.
What is the record at the moment?
I think it's 99 miles an hour at the minute.
Which isn't really that fast, is it, in bike terms?
Not really. I suppose it is.
For a sighted person, it's not very fast. But for someone who can't see where they're going, do you think this is going to happen?
I don't know. I just need to find some generous person to come along with two fast bikes, a very good intercom system, and somebody daft enough to follow me as well.
Well, let's put this video out and make that happen. Yeah. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Would be
so
great,
that's our call to action on the video, you see. So if you want to sponsor Darren's crazy stunt, which it is, it's crazy, but it's great, I love it. Not a particularly expensive stunt to organise, really, is it?
Not unless you crash the bike.
And what sort of bike are we talking about? Are we talking like a big Harley Davidson type thing, or more of an over the tank Kawasaki kind of thing?
Yeah, more of an over the tank thing. No, the faster the better, really.
Yeah.
But you'd have to think
keep you in one piece, you know, Darren. We want you around to do more interviews. You know, that's the thing. We're gonna end it there, I think.
Bali.
It's been absolutely fantastic having you, Darren. Thank you so much for bearing your innermost, and not an easy thing to do.
Match of the day next.
Yeah, match of the day next. Liverpool to win. We should say we're filming this in April 2019, so they're on the verge. They're almost there.
Yeah, it's been a nice journey, but I can typical Liverpool style. I can see us getting to the Champions League final and losing, and I can see us finishing on 97 points in the Premiership, and finishing on 98.
That's a nice optimistic note to end on. So on that note, I think we've got to do this too Ronnie style now. I've got to say it's adios from him, and you've got to say it's
adios from him.
And we'll say adios together. All right, you ready? So it's adios from him.
And it's adios from him.
Adios.
Adios.
Cheers, man. That was brilliant.
It was good fun, wasn't it?
That's great.